Chris Huffman here, still on the road from New Mexico back to Tennessee. I'm a couple hours from the house and just had a thought the Lord gave me. I think I'll just throw it out there, see what happens with it. But your pastor may have failed you. But that's no excuse for you to not do right. Your parents may have failed you, and most certainly they did fail you. And even done some horrendous, unforgivable, unthinkable act. But that does not release you, does not release me from doing the right thing. Your spouse may have failed you, but that does not give you the right to respond in kind. You may have had a friend or someone you trusted backstab you and hurt you deeply. But you're still supposed to forgive. I'm still supposed to forgive. And speaking from experience, of letting that stuff get to me and becoming bitter, having been backstabbed and lied about by those I loved and respected, rejected by those I love, forgotten by those who called me their friend. And in a couple of those instances, really dealing with bitterness in my own heart. And how that bitterness hurts me more than the offender. If you hold bitterness and unforgiveness, you won't reconcile, you won't forgive, whether it's a friend, a spouse, a pastor, somebody in leadership, it doesn't matter. If you hold on to that, don't let it go, it only hurts you. But there are other people around that see that you are not forgiving and see that you are not reconciling, are seeing that you're bitter. Whatever the case is in your life, there are people watching. And they are noticing and they are learning and probably getting hurt themselves. So yeah, when we're bitter against a particular person and we won't forgive, in that situation we're hurting ourselves more than that person. But there are other people around us that hurt because of unforgiveness and reconciliation and restoration and all that. So just because your pastor has failed you, your parents have failed you, your friends have failed you, your spouse has failed you, you're still supposed to do right. It's a hard life. Still supposed to love God. Still supposed to love your spouse. If your husband failed you, God still wants you to be the wife that you're supposed to be. If Your wife failed you, you're still supposed to be the husband he wants you to be. If your parents failed you, he still wants you to be the child that he told you to be. So don't let that be your story. Decide to forgive. Decide to reconcile. Decide to be the best you can be for God's honor and glory. For those of us that are watching you, and keep your eyes on Him.